Convert percent and fractions. When converting a fraction to a percent, there's two steps we need to do. We can first divide the fraction, and then our second step will be to move the decimal to the right twice. Then when we want to convert them from a percent to a fraction, we're going to follow these steps. So we're going to put the percent over 100, and then we're going to reduce the fraction if needed. So let's look at some examples to practice converting a fraction to a percent or percent to a fraction. So example 1, a job requires to make 30 connecting plates. A welder finished 80% of the job. What is this percent represented as a fraction? So for this, we are going to be looking at this second one. So we're going to put the percent over 100, and then we'll reduce the fraction. So we're taking 80%. What we're doing is going to put it over 100. So now we have 80 over 100, which this can be reduced. So we see that we have 80 over 100. Both have a factor of 10 in them. So we can reduce a whole 10 from top and bottom. So we'll just go ahead and divide by 10 on top and bottom. So if 80 divided by 10, which is 8, 100 divided by 10 is 10. So we can still reduce because this is even. So we would then reduce by dividing it by 2 on the top and the bottom. And we'll see where this ends up. So 8 divided by 2 is 4. 10 divided by 2 is 5. So we would say this percent represented as a fraction is 4 over 5 because this is now reduced. Let's look at another example. Example 2, what is 25% represented as a fraction? So what we do with this, we put 25, and then we're going to put it over 100. That's our first step. And then step 2 would be to reduce. So we have 25 and 100. Well, we know that 25 can be divided by 25, and we know 100 can be divided by 25. So, because if you think about 4 quarters is equal to $1, so 25 divided by 25 is then 1, and 100 divided by 25 is 4. If you aren't sure, what we could have done is gone 25 divided by 5, which then can be divided by 5, which is the same as dividing it by 25, so that gets 1. Then 100. We can see 100 can be divided by 25, which would be 4. So 1/4 is our new percent then represented as a fraction. Let's do another example. In example 3, a job requires to make 30 connecting plates. A welder finished 21 plates. What is this fraction represented as a percent? So we're looking at completed plates over the total. So we're looking at 21 over 30. This is our fraction. Now we need to represent this as a percent. So what we would do then is go 21, and then we see that this fraction bar is actually division. So we can just go 21 divided by 30, which is 0.7. Then our next step will be to multiply this by 100. And we get 70. So this would be our fraction represented as a percent. Now let's do another example. Example 4. What is 3/8 represented as a percent? So 3 over 8, what we first do is we think of this as a division symbol. So we go 3 divided by 8, which is then equal to 0.375. Then we're going to go ahead and multiply it by 100 to then get percent times 100, and we get 37.5%.